Hey bosses, today it is Ask Dr. Heather Day, and this is a question that I have received multiple times. So really I thought I would share this with you and answer the question because you may also be having this same question in your mind, and I wanted to give you a solution. So today's topic on video is actually 3 simple ways to fix employee turnover before it happens, which is hugely important because if you did not know, employee turnover for you and that process of hiring another employee is very, very expensive. And I wanted to break it down for you. So the average cost of replacing an employee, depending on the level that they are in. Obviously, it'll be more expensive for a senior executive than a regular staff employee to a mid-level manager. But on average, it is 1.5 to 2 times a person's salary. So basically what that means is if that employee is getting $25,000 a year, then go ahead and your cost for replacing that high-performing employee is going to be 50 grand. And what this all comes out of and why it costs so much is this. So the cost of turnover equals the cost of hiring, the cost of onboarding, the cost of training, plus the severance package that you gave the previous employee who has left, plus the loss in productivity. So all of that is very, very, very expensive. And that is what we do not want to have that cost, come to our bottom line. So the idea is to really prevent it before it happens. And that means that you have got to get in touch with your employees. So I've got 3 simple ways because these 3 ways are going to be hugely impactful. And hey, I'm Dr. Heather Williamson with the Transformation Group, and welcome back to the channel. All right, so there's 3 simple ways that you can actually fix employee turnover before it happens. And the first is to uncover the real reasons why your employees are leaving. So typically companies have that exit interview, and that I know when I've left companies, I haven't always had an exit interview. And so the bad thing about that is that in an exit interview, sometimes that employee is not going to tell the whole truth. They may just tell partial truths, so they are still looked at in a good light in case they want a letter of recommendation later down the road. So when it comes to exit interviews, yes, companies use them, but I don't always think you're getting the actual information that you really, really, really need. And so with that, there's some other things that I want you to think about, and that is you can actually talk with informal leaders, and that means getting an insight into what the company problems are. So, periodically meet with the department heads, those people who may have some insight, or even, like I said, the informal leaders. So those that actually don't have a formal title as a leader or a manager, but those who are workers. And that can be done through focus groups. So create a focus group on random employees through different departments and find out what's working and what's not. All right, and then the second strategy that you can use is stay in touch with employees, which led perfectly from the first one. So when I talk about staying in touch with employees, basically what you can do is I kind of think about it as interviews, and they're really engagement interviews. So outside consultants actually are best for this because then people have a feeling that if they're telling somebody from HR, they're not going to be honest because it may come back and hurt them. Okay, there may be retribution. So if you hire an outside consultant to do this, and this is one of the things that my company does, but find out why those employees engage, where the good things are happening and where the bad things are happening before your high-performing employee leaves. And if you hire an outside agency or consultant to do this, they're going to be a lot more forthcoming because the information would be kept confidential. All right, and the second thing you can do is really start assessing who's at risk. Who is giving you signs that they are, have a foot out the door. And then the third is create an environment and that culture for honest feedback without fear of retribution. All right. And that is letting people know that you are accepting ideas, and you then start implementing some of those ideas that your people are coming up with that will help make their lives easier and make them happier working for you. And then the third strategy is eliminate negativity. And when it comes to eliminating negativity, that whole, feeling, it is a low morale. It just sucks the life out of everybody. And it really creates that environment where people are just not happy and don't want to work for you. So also, second thing to do under here is look for patterns. So look to see if people are leaving, are they coming from the same department? Are they leaving the same manager? So these are some signs that people are not happy where they are. Also, identify if it's the people that is the reason why they're leaving, or is it the process? And so that will tell you what is causing that low morale. And I will tell you, and my dissertation supported this, and I've seen other studies as well, people leave the company because of their boss. They cannot stand working for their boss anymore. However, if it's a process, that can be easily changed, and really the manager can be changed too, but you have to be willing to step up to do it and hold that manager accountable. All right, and then once you've identified if it's the person that's the reason why people are leaving, or it's the process, to take advantage of that and really do some in-depth research. And you can also do this through a 360 evaluation, so given to all managers and supervisors. And this is where input is provided from the employee, from their manager's boss, and from coworkers. And it really gives you insight into how that manager is performing at that leadership level. All right. So one thing to think about is, yes, uncover the real reasons why people are leaving, stay in touch with employees, and eliminate negativity. But once you get all this information, you have got to implement the strategies that come out of it. All right. That is what is going to get people to stay with you and prevent you from that high cost of turnover. So hopefully you found some value in this. If you did, please share this with other bosses that may need this information. Don't forget to like the button below. And also, last but not least, go out and be that boss that your employees really want to work for. Talk to you next time. Bye, guys.